you doing there, folks? Baters here for another Top 10. This week, we're going to be looking at the top 10 strange weapon mods for Fallout 4. Now, if you're playing on Xbox, be sure to keep your peepers perky for this delicious gobstopper here, as that's an indicator that that mod featured is available for your console. For those of you playing on PC, note that all the mods featured are available to you all, as we do all our mod reviews on the PC version of Fallout 4. Also, if you find yourself having a giant girthy penis, then think about supporting us on Patreon. That way, everyone will know about your massive girth. The link will be in the description. Now get ready to try to make a genie come out of your genitals, and let's get to average baiting, baby! At number 10, we've got the classic Super Sledge by WJS97. This mod adds the Super Sledge from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas to the Commonwealth in Fallout 4. This mod includes 6 attachments and the return of Oh Baby from Fallout New Vegas. Now the attachments include the Tenderizer, which adds 2 heavy-duty spiked plates, which are pretty nasty and will definitely soften up your enemies. The Stop Sign, which adds a stolen stop sign to the hammer, which serves as an ironically painful message to anyone you choose to use it on. The Buzzsaw, which adds a monstrosity that converts the Super Sledge from a hammer into a man-portable buzzsaw capable of slicing through anyone's face. The Brand, which adds a red-hot US Army star to the weapon that can be used to burn people. Discard, which is an experimental attachment that will shock your enemies to death. Bottle Caps, which adds 2 oversized novelty Nuka-Cola bottle caps to the hammer, which if used successfully to kill your enemies, will shower them with counterfeit and worthless bottle caps. The Mjolnir, which enables you to imbue the weapon with the power of Odin himself. Successful critical hits will actually add a throwing hammer to your inventory that you can use to stun and damage enemies. Now, any one of these variants would easily protect you against a Velociraptor in Jurassic World. Speaking of Jurassic World, I don't really understand Jurassic World. I get Jurassic Park, you find yourself an old as fuck mosquito and some crusty honey, you build yourself a dinosaur park, what doesn't make sense, right? People come, they gawk at the dangerous creatures, Newman fucks everyone over for some whipped cream, and a guy gets eaten while taking a shit. But what I don't get is Jurassic World. That's where you lose me. Why are people still attending this amusement park? If Mickey Mouse went nuts one day and started eating people, I think it's safe to say people would stop going to Disney World. Ho-ho! I got you, little bitch! Ho-ho! It's Government Land! Save the kids! Get to the car! There is also a legendary Oh Baby from Fallout New Vegas, which is making its return now thanks to this mod. It's a little rusty, but still packs a mean hammer to the face, which is so mean that you might find yourself launching your enemies far, far away. It can be found inside the Forgotten Church outside of the Glowing Sea. The base version of this weapon has been injected into Fallout 4's level list with the use of a script, and it will begin spawning on certain enemies and vendors once the player reaches level 10 or higher. I rate this mod that moment you realize you're too drunk to remember how to open a door. A little help, please. At number 9, we've got the Propulso 5000 Force Push Gun by El Polo Azul. This mod adds the Propulso 5000 by Psytech Systems to the world of Fallout 4. This is a non-lethal, somewhat humane way to keep pipe gun-wielding enemies, adoring fans, and stalkers at bay by pushing them into a nearby wall or border, or even off a cliff. And now, you'll be able to blow everyone in the Commonwealth. Mercy Long giving you shit? Bye-bye, Mercy! Trash Can Carla just bothering you for no reason? See you, bitch! Preston Garvey's wiener not sucking itself? I mean, oh shit. It's weapons like these that actually make me start to think about things in a different light. You know, even get a little bit political. If weapons like these were real, then I might even start to agree with Trump about weapons in schools, but not guns! No, that's too much. However, if they did have this weapon in schools to deal with bullies, that would be great. Imagine air blasting Donnie off the jungle gym because he was bitch slapping the foreign kids again. Will Donnie ever recover? Who knows? But I think it's a small price to pay for justice. Now that kid that eats his boogers will have a safe space to go to do gross shit all day, and there will be no one around to kick him in the nutsack until he shits his pants. That's a win-win, I think. That is a win-win. Now, if you do want to acquire this weapon and you are at or above level 15 when you install this mod, then a postman's gonna come looking for you. And once you kill this chubby male delivery man, you'll be able to take the Propulso right off his dead fucking body. If you are less than level 15 when you install this mod, then you're gonna have to wait until you reach level 15, you fucking greedy bastard. Then you can go to the root cellar in Sanctuary or the one at the Groski cabin, and it should trigger the postman quest. If that doesn't work, then just open the postman safe in the cabin cellar. The key is actually pretty easy to find. I rate this mod one guy who's addicted to the sweet, sweet smell of public subway poles. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff right there. Oh yeah. At the number 8 spot, we have the M6 PDWS Magnum by Nova Finch. This mod adds the classic M6 series of pistols from the Halo series into the Commonwealth. This weapon uses .50, .44, and 10mm ammunition and will start appearing on gunners and vendors at or around level 15 or higher, as it has been added to the respective level lists. This gun kinda looks like a toy that's come to life in a way. Kinda like what happens in the movie Toy Story. I don't know if you've seen it. I actually thought Toy Story was real up until about a week ago. I wouldn't even jerk off in front of my Beanie Baby collection for fear that when I left the room, they would make fun of my dick. This pistol includes its own custom animations as well as custom meshes and textures that really bring it to life in the game. See? It's convincing, isn't it? It has an assortment of customization options to change up its look and function, including 5 receivers, 8 damage modifiers, 4 add-ons such as iron sights, KFA 2 times, KFA 4 times, and SOCOM suppressor, as well as 4 materials to choose from. Put it this way, if Frodo had this weapon when he was returning that ring, he wouldn't have needed that Samwise Gamgee character following him around all the time. Do you think that Samwise Gamgee came in his pants every time Frodo called his name? I know I do. I honestly think he let Frodo get into those precarious predicaments just so his nipples would swell up like balloons out of arousal, that sick little fuck. This is an excellent weapon mod that I would recommend to anyone's playthrough of the game. I rate this mod that expression you make when you realize you're a human being trapped in a seal's body. You don't understand anything I'm saying, do you? No, not at all. Great, great! Make a birthday wish, they said. It'd be fun, they said. Don't tell anyone about it, they said. Fuck! At number 7, we have Cross Break Action Laser by Nero. This mod adds a break action laser to the Commonwealth. The break action laser was developed by General Atomics and was a publicly available alternative to the military AER-9 laser, originally marketed as a varmint rifle for rodents and other small game with the gimmick of instant and clean vaporization. The break action laser 7 was popular amongst tinkerers who figured out ways to dramatically increase its power output. Those sons of bitches. Its simple design and durable parts made it ideal for both personal customization and a wide range of game hunting as long as power conservation wasn't an issue. The break action laser is meant to fill a power gram that was frustratingly missing from the standard laser weapons. Laser scatter weapons are nearly useless outside of near melee range and totally unsatisfying to use. And semi-auto lasers lack the power output to be useful as late-game weapons. The break-action laser fills that early gap by providing an upgradable shotgun that has a moderate range. Later on, with a higher level of science and gun nut, the break-action laser can fill other roles in your arsenal and give you a worthwhile way to burn off fusion cells. The lobber muzzle turns the weapon into a grenade launcher, lobbing fast medium-range explosives. The discharger muzzle, on the other hand, offers the longest possible range with an accurate and powerful single-shot blast that can rival the most powerful penetration of the most powerful ballistic weapons. So don't let your enemy grab it out of your hands like an amateur and shoot you in the goddamn face. Always remember, Villains don't care about your feelings, or VDCAYF for short. You never know what a villain's gonna do, okay? You never know what a villain's gonna do, okay? Speaking of villains, you know who I think would have made a great villain? I think Splinter from the Ninja Turtles would have been an amazing villain. Think about it. How many people are scared of rats? Now imagine a giant rat that knows karate and just scissor kicked your grandma through the pantry window. Kya! Yep, that is a terrifying villain right there. Anyways, there are a few customization options for this weapon as well. There are 3 grips, 3 muzzles, 5 sights, and 7 skins to choose from. Nero also added the ability to get additional skins through gumroad.com/Nero. The link will be in the description, where you can acquire additional skins for this weapon that are fully Nexus compatible. They are free of charge, but you can choose to donate if you'd like to support Nero as a mod author. These skins just look incredible, and I'd say that they are definitely worth more than any skin that I've seen on the Creation Club. But I will let you all be the judge. Now, if you want to acquire this weapon, it has been added to various level lists in the world via a script, meaning no vanilla records are edited. Most enemies that can have lasers by default have a chance of carrying one of these bad boys, with gunners being the most likely. You can also purchase them off of certain vendors, and there are also 2 legendary versions of this weapon that can be found throughout the world. One can be found at the Synth Retention Bureau Armory, and the other can be found at the General Atomics Galleria. I rate this mod 1 photo of what happens when you take the duck face just a little bit too far. At number 6, we have Monster Hunter Swords Mega Pack by Derpsdale. This mod adds 11 greatswords, 2 daggers, and 1 one-handed sword to the Commonwealth. All of these weapons are made from fans of the Monster Hunter series. These weapons are all extremely unique, and some of them are fucking humongous. Whenever I think of swords for some reason, I always think about time travel, and whenever I think of time travel, I always think about what would I do if I had a time machine. Now, most people say they would go back and kill Hitler. Not me, though. I'm a pacifist. If I had a time machine, I would go back in time, but instead of killing Hitler, I would punch Hitler's father right in the tip of his penis while he was having sex with Hitler's mom. Would this stop Hitler from being born? Probably not. But it would create a really awkward conversation and a lot of confusion, which I like. Who was that guy who came and punched me in the penis? Who was that? Who was that guy? The swords that have been added are the Iron Greatsword, the Akito, the Barbario Blade, the Weathered Greatsword, the Eternal Glimpse, the Epitaph Blade, the Buster Sword, the Iron Greatsword, the Ravager Blade, the Carbolite Sword, the Guardian Sword, the Assassin's Dagger, the Odyssey Blade, and the Frost Edge. Now, if I pronounce some of those words incorrectly, it's because I don't speak fantasy, and I just don't know the correct pronunciation of made-up words. Who was that guy? I do, however, speak llama, or at least I think I speak llama. It's not really relevant to this mod review, but I like to bust out that card when I can, as it doesn't see a lot of FaceTime at parties. When the fuck does speaking llama come into a conversation, right? Unless, of course, you're talking to a fucking llama! These swords are absolutely amazing, and they almost make me believe in magic when I look at them. I actually think that Hogwarts could be a real place when I look at these swords. Sometimes when I think about Hogwarts, though, I always wonder if someone was, like, really good at sleight of hand, if they would have been accepted into Hogwarts, like, by mistake. You know, they get there and they see Voldemort skull fucking Harry with a Wingardium Leviosa spell right to the nipples, and they're like, oh shit, wrong school, you know? Is it just me who thinks like that? Anyways, if you want to acquire any one of these swords or daggers, you can find them on Super Mutants, as they have been added to the respective level lists. Who was that guy? I rate this mod that moment you realize that maybe you're an indoor human. Send help, please. I'm in excruciating pain. At number 5, we have the Punt Gun by DMagnus. This mod adds a massive shotgun to the world of Fallout, and when I say massive, I mean it's big. The Punt Gun was often handmade, and it was used through the 19th and early 20th centuries for mass hunting water flow, because I guess they hated fucking water flow, and gets its name due to the fact that these beasts were typically mounted on top of a boat called a punt. A single shot from a punt gun could wipe out 50 or more water flow, and on occasion, fleets of up to 10 punts toting these massive shotguns were deployed for maximum hunting efficiency. You know? What The fuck did these water flow do to these people? Due to how rapidly these things depleted stock of wild water flow, which again is it's a small bird, the use of punt guns was eventually outlawed in most states by the 1980s. Of course, this being the Commonwealth wasteland, old bands don't matter anymore, do they? And punt guns have begun to make a little bit of a comeback. I know what you guys are thinking. Those water flow acted a bit more like human beings. Would they have killed so many of them? And I think they would have killed more. Think about it this way. If animals acted like people, it'd be really upsetting. Don't believe me? Just imagine looking out your window and seeing a raccoon twerking its butt cheeks together to a Taylor Swift song. I don't know about you guys, but I'd probably move after that, you know? The punt gun, owing to its ludicrous size, is heavy, a bit slow to reload, and kicks like a retarded donkey on steroids. But there's no better way to clear out a room of ghouls or prompt a bunch of raiders to shit in their power armor than to bust out one of these bad boys. The mod comes with custom meshes, textures, sounds, muzzle flashes, and even a reload animation. Put it this way, if a detective found this gun in your house, you'd be going to jail for crimes you haven't even committed yet. Especially if that detective was a water flow. You'd have a lot of explaining to do then, for sure. There are a few customization options for this weapon, including 9 receivers, 4 barrels, 3 muzzles attachments, 13 scopes, 2 stocks, 4 choke options, and 11 ammo types to choose from. The punt gun also does a base damage of 160 and is classed as a big gun. No shit. Meaning its stats will change depending on ranks in big gun related perks. Its base weight clocks in at 35 pounds and will of course raise or lower depending on the mods attached. Though it will still remain in the double digits. These things were meant to be mounted on boats after all. Yeah. Now, as many of you may have noticed, this gun comes with more than a few ammo types. Apart from the standard buckshot, there are also birdshot, which increases the projectile count, and so makes the punt gun vomit lead, though it slightly reduces the damage. On top of this, there are slugs, which, as you'd expect, are quite sizable. Quite sizable indeed, compared to your usual shotgun slug. This gun also does a bit more bash damage than your usual gun, due in part to it being so hefty. Power armor is almost a must for this beast, but nothing's really stopping you from carting this sucker around without it. Of note, the explosive buckshot and explosive birdshot ammo mods require Idiot Savant 1 and 2 respectively. For some reason, it just doesn't show at the workbench. Now, if you want to acquire this beast of a weapon, it has been added to the level list using scripts, and is on the rarer side of things. However, it can be found on gunners and raiders that use Fat Man, as well as a Fat Man toting raiders in power armor, but will also turn up on vendors and other legendary enemies. Also, one can be found in the world space at Dark Hollow Point if you just want to go over there and get your fingertips on this big old bitch. I rate this mod one duck that has managed to make all the other ducks at the park his bitch.
Why'd you stop moving, bitch? Keep swimming or I'll smack you again.
At the number 4 spot, we've got the Technetronic personal defense weapon by Quad Rioters. This mod adds a high-profile experimental personal defense weapon or machine pistol to Fallout 4. It has a ton of customization options to enhance its versatility. Notably, this weapon has some unusual ammunition conversions, many rate of fire settings, and various blueprints for all sorts of magazine clips. This gun is weird as shit. Put it this way, if this gun were a person, it would wear a cape to work, it would talk to inanimate objects like they had feelings, and it would uppercut muffins in the break room for no apparent reason. Yet somehow he would be the most popular guy in the office, women would want him, inanimate objects would want to be him, and muffins would fear him. The customization options include 6 receivers, 8 grips, 13 magazines, 4 sights, 10 muzzles, 2 monitors, 3 bayonets, 9 fire rate settings, and 7 materials to choose from. And to top it all off, it comes in a tight, compact, murder-friendly size. Let's face it, big guns, they can be cumbersome. Especially when you're out with your homies looking to mow down some bloods, and wouldn't you know it, your oversized shotty gets caught up in the seat cover of your red 1988 Hyundai Excel X1. Needless to say, Cuba Gooding Jr. and his football friend gallivant off to their escape, and all your homies, they turn around and punch you right in the penis, because you fucked up. This gun sorts all that with its miniature size and its intense killing power. It's got it all, man. Now, if you want to acquire this weapon, it can be crafted at the chemistry station under utility, or you can find it on legendary enemies or at specific gun vendors at level 31 or higher. I rate this mod that face you make when you're pretty sure someone's staring at you from outside your window at night, but you're not positive and you're way too afraid to really check.
Is that? No, it couldn't be. Wait a second. Yeah, maybe it is. Oh, hello? Hello? It might actually be. Ah!
At number 3, we have the air pistol by Spunk-Drunk Millionaire. This mod adds a standalone pistol to the Commonwealth, loosely based off of a weapon used in the popular Hitman franchise, the air pistol. Now, the air pistol works by using pressurized gas to propel ball bearings at a lethal velocity. Because there is no combustion of gunpowder, all versions of this gun are silent. A person who is of no significant importance once said, "Every weapon has a story to tell." Now, this weapon tells the story of a murderer who didn't have access to gunpowder. It's good to know that. This gun is savage as fuck. It's so savage it would drink 7/8 of a bottle of pop and put the stale toenail back in the fridge for its roommates to throw up later. It's so savage, it would work out for a week and then start giving nutritional advice on Facebook. It's so extremely savage, it wouldn't break you off a piece of its Kit Kat bar, even if it was in a Kit Kat commercial, alright? The crude design of the pistol is meant to fit with the improvised weapons available at early levels, and it looks very immersive. The mod looks great with both custom meshes and textures, however it doesn't have any custom animations, so the reload can look a little strange, especially in first person. However, it does come with a few customization options, including 9 receivers, 6 barrels, 3 grips, 2 magazines, and 8 sights. Now, if you want to acquire this mod, you can find it throughout the world, as it has been integrated into the level list for both the gun itself and its unique ammunition. Now, the ammunition can also be crafted at the chemistry station if you just can't be bothered running around looking for it, okay? I rate this mod 2 gorillas making out and 1 other super pervy gorilla just watching them.
Yeah, that's it. Use your hands. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. Hi.
At the number 2 spot, we've got Cross Ruger MKV by Nero. Now, this mod adds the Ruger MKV pistol to the world of Fallout. This weapon is extremely customizable with new and improved semi-properly ordered crafting bench menus. It has 2 receivers, 8 barrels, 4 grips, 3 iron sights, 10 magazines, 5 muzzle options, 4 rail options, 5 underbarrel attachments, 5 sight attachments, 3 infusers, multiple skins, and even more if you download the skin pack from Gumroad. This gun has so many attachments that if attachments were children, it would have its own television show called Too Many to Name. It would just be this super confused parent interrogating toddlers like they have late-stage dementia. Now, if you want to find this weapon, it can be found throughout the world as well as on dead enemies, as it has been added to the respective level list via a script. If that's too hard for you, you can also craft the Ruger at the chem lab if you got the right supplies. Now, if I had a choice, this weapon would be my spirit animal, okay? That or a puffer fish, because let's face it, puffer fish look like they put out on the first date, don't they? Yeah, fucking sexy. Come on, look at him. Look at that slutty little fish. Look at those lips. I mean, you don't get lips like those. Wait until you're married, do ya? No. You want to explore it all, feel it all, touch it all, suck it all, don't ya? Naughty little water breather. Look at that slutty little fuck. Kiss you right on the lips right now, you naughty little fish. There is also a special USMC version of the gun with a unique integrated suppressor barrel that can be found in the admin office of Fort Strong right next to the Covert Operations Manual. The USMC version can be fully customized like any other MKV, but the integrated suppressor barrel is exclusive only to that version. I rate this mod 1 reptile who's super drunk.
A little help, please.
And at the number 1 spot, we have the AK-5C, a Nordic Relic by AssXass. This mod adds the Swedish Automat Carbon 5 Caesar, aka the AK-5C, to the Commonwealth. This weapon mod isn't your ordinary weapon mod, no. It actually comes with its own quests to unlock different attachments and skins. Also, just to unlock the weapon itself, you'll have to finish the quest Reminiscence of a Land Far Away, in which you'll have to travel to the 3rd rail and find a note with a unique knife called Mora's Knife, which can later be used as a bayonet on this weapon mod. In total, there are about 120 different customization options and attachments for this weapon, one of which is a fucking pencil bayonet. Now, you don't tie a pencil to your gun to stab people with a pencil, no. You tie a pencil to your gun to make a statement. You know, create some talking points amongst your enemies, pose some really confusing questions. Nobody looks at a person with a pencil as a bayonet and thinks to themselves, that's a well-adjusted individual right there. No. They see that pencil and they think troubling thoughts. The attachments include 8 receivers, 7 magazines, 3 barrels, 3 bayonets, 2 stocks, 5 muzzle attachments, 7 sights, 9 sight customizations, 6 zooms, 6 tapes, 6 tape colors, 5 tape materials, 5 side rail attachments, 8 laser colors, 3 bottom rail attachments, 13 weapon skins, and 13 sticker options to choose from. I think it's safe to say this is the most customizable weapon in Fallout 4, in both the vanilla game and in terms of mods added. Some of these customizations are immersive, while others are, well, just look at this magazine. I mean, I'm no expert, but this magazine doesn't really make sense biologically, okay? Put it this way. If I shaved off all the hair on my testicles, drew faces on them, and constantly referred to them as the twins, it still wouldn't be as unusual as this magazine. Now, there are 2 special versions of this weapon that can be found throughout the world as well, the Bluebird and the Special Snowflake. These weapons have their own unique looks and their very own unique animations. Now, there are also multiple weapon skins available as well that can be unlocked by finding AIKE weapon fashion magazines around the Commonwealth, and you can choose to have map markers provided or just find them naturally as you play through the game. Now, some of the weapon attachments themselves are unlocked by finding secret documents that are also spread throughout the game world and can also be added to your map via map markers, or you can just choose to find them naturally after you install this mod. This is by far one of the most immersive and strange weapon mods I've ever seen for Fallout 4. Now, if you want to acquire this amazing weapon mod, then it will spawn on gunners or at vendors after completing the first quest, which is available to your character after reaching level 15 or higher. I rate this mod that face you make when the donkey you were trash talking on your internet blog tracks you down in person and threatens to eat your face. Hey, thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and ring that little bell button. And if you're lucky, at the stroke of midnight, a tiny little Averagebaters fairy will come and tickle your butthole. Also, if you want to have more say in our future videos, then be sure to follow us on Twitter as we look to you all for ideas on future top 10s. The link will be in the description. And hope to see you all again next time for another top 10.